This segment of Trojans Live is brought to you by Allstate. The Trojans are in good hands with two big fellas here, veteran offensive linemen Nico, Falah, and Toa Lobendahn joining JJ and I here at the lab. What's going on, guys? How did it feel on Saturday? Good to have you back, Toa, most importantly. You know, Nico was looking around at Washington State trying to find a friend.
Somebody he knew.
How did it go incorporating two young guys on Saturday? How'd they do? How'd you guys feel like you did as a unit?
Felt they did good. I mean, Andrew Voorhees, Austin Jackson, and Clayton Johnson stepped in this week. So they had some good film, and Coach Callaway gave them the thumbs up. So it was a good job for them.
Shoot, Toa, you didn't read the memo that we're not getting hurt anymore this year.
Toa, of all people, you think would be done.
Right, of all people. Talk to us about just the injury and just getting over it and getting through it. What was the process like?
Which one? The one for
let's start with the recent one.
I mean, it wasn't much of an injury. It was just a little skin infection that it made my knee like really swollen, but it kept me in the hospital for about 4 days straight. So it was hard to watch the game, from the hospital and
hospital TV.
Yeah, it was great definition.
Just yelling out the calls, the line calls.
Yeah. It was just hard not to be out there with my brothers, but I'm just blessed to be able to play another game and just continue to go.
Nico mentioned all the young guys that are playing. That was you. Wasn't that long ago? What don't they know that they don't know at this point? I mean, obviously, I'm sure that there's some things that they know they don't know, but what will they learn? Now that you're a wise old head as the years go by.
That it'll get a little bit easier. The nerves will calm down for sure. I'm sure they had a little bit of nerves in them, in their first game, and they definitely didn't have to get thrown out there in the first game, which is nice for them. But they got to ease into it. But it'll definitely get easier.
Nico, we were talking to Coach about Christian Rector and his process of getting the opportunity to play, now taking full advantage of it. Your situation is sort of the same in that. You weren't the starter, but guys go down and get hurt, and now everybody's, it's your position. Everybody else has to make an adjustment around you. Talk to me about the times when it was not happening for you. I mean, I know that it's good times now, but when it was not happening for you, the way you wanted your USC career to go, did you always have faith that it would come around, or how difficult was that?
I mean, it was a tough first 3 years here. I finally got the call the Pac-12 South Championship game against UCLA.
Yeah.
The first quarter, the first series, Khalil Rogers went down. My number was finally called, and I just prepared for that opportunity. I mean, wish it came sooner, but hey, all the pieces fell in place, and finally got my chance.
But how hard was that waiting your turn, right? I mean, you obviously could do the job, obviously, so you're watching it like, look, I can handle this thing. I don't know what these guys are doing out there, not getting my opportunity. But for you to have to wait, I mean, was there a point of frustration that you just said, look, this is enough, or how does that work out for you, I guess?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, 3 years is a long time not playing. I mean, coming out of high school, a 4-star recruit, one of the best tackles in the country, and waiting 3 years to finally get my chance, it was tough. I mean, sometimes I doubted myself, but I just had to believe in what I was doing and just stay patient, put my head down, and work.
When you guys get near the end of your USC careers, as you're doing here, although Toa still potentially has a year to go if he wants it, but is there more desperation that sets in, or is it because you're more experienced that you're able to sort of relax and we'll see what happens with the results? I mean, do you feel that crunch of like, hey, we need to get it done this year?
I mean, a little bit, but I think you just take it, game by game and year by year, just focus on doing your best. You can't really just, have desperation. I feel like you just give it your best every time.
Nico, we've talked to Coach Helton several times about when the game's on the line, let's say 5-6 minutes left to go in the game, the other team knows you're going to run the ball. It's happened against UCLA. It's happened, Notre Dame several times. And the offensive line sort of comes together and meets on the field before you take that last drive. Help me understand the sort of the mentality and the mindset. Fourth quarter, 5 minutes left. You have the lead, but you have to possess the ball, and the other team knows you're going to run it. Talk to me a little bit about that conversation amongst you guys. It sort of says, look, dude, it's on our shoulders as offensive linemen to get it done.
I mean, you got it right there. We have to run the ball to win the game, and it's all in the offensive line's hands. I mean, usually the game is always up to the offensive line, but when it's crunch time, like you said, it's clutch time. We have to step up, communicate more, and just rely on our training, what Coach Callaway's taught us.
Well, let's talk about Coach Vianney. I was watching him on Saturday. He was sitting in Coach Callaway's seat most of the game. I'm sure you guys missed your buddy out there. What was Coach V saying to you during the game? What was his advice?
I mean, he just keeps it positive. Coach Callaway gives us all the coaching that we need, but he just keeps it positive and just tells us that, little things maybe that we don't see that he sees out there, but he just keeps it positive most of the time.
Yeah, I hear Coach Callaway is tough, right? He grinds you guys and
Yeah.
everything else. Now, is it tough, or is it just like you guys act like it's tough so you can get a little bit of a break?
No, it's really tough. It's ridiculous how tough it is.
Because I mean, as the receivers, man, we're running all day long. You guys are just sort of moving like 3, 4, 5 steps at a time. That's the way I see it anyway.
Toa, Nico told us this week that going into the season, he needed to get a little bit more intimidating looking. So he's gone with this thick beard. He's cut the hair. Do you feel like he accomplished the goal?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely got the intimidating look this year for sure.
And
he got the biceps too.
And I scare him a little bit.
A little bit.
Okay. No.
And then Toa, you have said that you're considering at some point cutting the hair. Nico, would you suggest that he goes with the short look?
I do not approve of that, because I remember when he first got here his freshman year, he had short hair, and a bunch of people confused us. I don't know why, but they always confused us.
After the season, though, but still contemplating. But, yeah, definitely.
But
they
we're
still
going long
confuse us.
hair, don't care, rest of the season.
Yeah.
Got it.
As veterans on the line, how much do you guys are you guys now taking guys under your wing? And which guys are those? And it has to be Voorhees at this point. But how many of those guys do you sort of have to take under your wing now and feel responsible to get them up to speed?
I mean, you got to take all the freshmen that came in here, because they're the future of USC. They're the future of the offensive line. So I remember when the summer here, when all the freshmen came in, I tried to get them under my wing and teach them to film all the plays so they can get a head start before fall camp started.
Is Utah one that you guys look forward to? They always have NFL defensive linemen.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's kind of a personal little vendetta for me, too, just because my dad played there, so I grew up watching them a lot, so it's always a special game for me.
You have a vendetta against your dad's team?
I wouldn't say it like that. Sorry, wrong word used, but it's just it's a special game for me for sure.
Nico, how come you always booing Rasheem on Instagram?
Oh, I don't know. I just got to boo Rasheem, give him a hard time, and give him a hard time in practice, too.
What's that battle like day in and day out? It's a pretty good player to work on.
Oh, yeah, he's one of the best defense linemen we have. I mean, he's a really bright future with football, and going against him every day just makes us better players.
All right, our guys, Nico and Toa, forget 2 points for safety trap to 20% with the Allstate Distinguished Driver Discount. Safe drivers can instantly save up to 20% on car insurance just for having a clean driving record, and that's on top of other discounts. Call 1-410 Los Angeles area. Allstate agents today. Thank you, Toa, Lobendahn, Nico, Falah. Need those big boys to lead the way. A physical game expected on Saturday at the Coliseum, USC and Utah. More next. The running backs coach Dylan McCullough's in the house on Trojans Live.